And we're live. It says we're live at least. You can't see our faces because mystery. Welcome to the Wordnerds live chat. We figured we would kind of do a little unveiling of all the Wordnerds since it's kind of a new lineup, you know. We might have some new viewers here. We're very excited. Also, my heart is pounding, and I don't know why. Anxiety, probably. But we are going to start with our new word nerd, Desiree! And next up after Desiree, we have Erin Latimer. After Erin, we have Hamilton. I mean, Emma! After Emma, we've got Kelly. After Kelly, we've got me. White balance. Wow.
Very blurry.
So blurry.
There's her face.
And next we've got Rachel. What?
What?
So, there are two new word nerds. We interviewed both Desiree and Rachel, and we loved them both so much. We loved everyone we interviewed, obviously. But we were having an incredibly difficult time choosing between Desiree and Rachel, and we knew we could drag it out and make them do a tiebreaker round, but really it would just be for us to have more time to consider the things we already knew. And so we decided to bring on both of them. Yay! Yay!
No internet. Oh,
So the way it's going to work is we're still going to do all of our days normally, but we're going to treat the Sunday special as a day now, meaning that if your day is Sunday, like mine is today, you host the live chat. So, we're very excited. Feel free in the comments to ask any questions you might have, whether for us or for the new word nerds, Desiree and Rachel. Let's start off with maybe a little introduction from the two of you. We can start with Desiree.
Okay.
We started with you last time.
On the spot.
Okay. Well, my name is Desiree, as it's been said a couple times. I'm 19. I live in Tennessee. I like to read and write.
Yes.
That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
And Rachel.
Me next. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel. I am 20 years old from Vancouver, Canada. I read more than is healthy. I like to write fantasy novels, and I own an antisocial cat that I really wish would love me.
And those are your new word nerds!
Yay! Smiling faces in your videos starting next week because they're part of our lineup right away. So it should be interesting to see what they come up with. No pressure.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Everyone is judging you or anything, but
The internet doesn't judge anybody ever.
Ever.
No,
Right.
especially not on YouTube. YouTube is super nice.
There's no judgment at all.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. So I looked up some fun bookish questions that we can go through. Just, you know, have a party, basically, celebrate that we've got new faces, new people, and I pulled a lot of them from different book tags, because those are a thing on YouTube, apparently. Let's start. What's the best book you've read so far in 2016? We'll start there. That's an easy one. Anyone? The Raven Boys!
I feel like I always have to have Goodreads pulled up for these.
I know, say that's what I'm doing.
I'm pulling it up right now. What did I read?
I've got to be the Raven Boys series. Can it be a series?
Yes.
Because that's my.
I'll allow
my
it,
pick.
because that is also
Okay.
mine.
No
No spoilers though! I'm only halfway through book 2.
That makes
No
me so
spoilers.
happy. That you guys
No spoilers, I haven't read the second one yet.
I'm in the middle of the second one, so I won't pick that since it's already been picked a million times.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
repeat
go
the
with-
question?
Megan?
I didn't hear you, Megan. When you said the question.
Oh, sorry. What's the best book you read in 2016 so far?
Okay.
Oh man,
All right,
there's so
I'm
many good ones I
going
can't
with-
choose.
Oh, what? Somebody else start talking. Somebody else start talking. It's so confusing. Front Lines by Michael Grant. It's like a YA imagining of World War II, where women can also be conscripted. And so there is like kind of a prissy white girl, a Jewish girl, and a black girl, and they're all doing different things in just World War II. Like they go to training, they're on the front, and they're just like interacting with guy soldiers and fighting people. And it was awesome. I loved it.
Oh, because I keep seeing that everywhere, but I was
It's
like,
so
I
good.
don't know, but if it's good, then you'll go check it out.
Probably if you like history, it'll be more enjoyable, but
Okay.
My favorite book I've read so far this year is actually a reread from a couple years ago, which is Tiger's Curse.
Okay.
love
Okay.
that
That
book.
was gonna happen.
It's one of my all-time favorite books.
Really? Oh my god.
I started reading them in
Like all the
my
books
freshman year of high school.
It's all happening.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-oh. All right.
Man.
Respect, it's fine. For me, I'm gonna say this is like a two-parter, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, because I finally read that this year, but then A Gathering of Shadows, which is the sequel, came out, and that was even better than the first one. So I would say like together were just phenomenal. Absolutely.
I have a few books I really liked. Sorry. I have a few books I really liked, but like the one I was like trying to think, I was like, but which one's the best? And the one that like had me like in a book hangover the most was Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. I loved that.
I want to read that. I needed to borrow. I'll borrow it from you when I come.
Yeah, next time you come. Don't forget it this time.
Yeah, because I'm coming back like a few weeks later. So.
Okay. I actually liked Cruel Beauty better than Crimson Bound.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, but I really liked Crimson Bound a lot.
Yeah.
I read Cruel Beauty 2 years ago, so that doesn't count for best book this year.
Yeah, Crimson Bound was so creepy. I loved it. Like one of my favorite parts of it is when I think they're like trying to see through the veil of worlds or something, and he goes, "What do you see?" And she goes, "Oh, flowers with teeth."
Yes.
And that was just like the creepiest line ever, and I love it.
Yeah, her world building is just like, it's so creepy and
Wonderful.
yeah.
So good.
Megan's like, yeah, sounds good.
I love her. So next question. Feel free, like I said earlier, if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. We've got people monitoring them.
Or to answer the questions we are asking in the comments.
Yeah.
We want to hear what
yeah.
you think too. Yeah.
We definitely want to know. So this question I pulled from the book Sacrifice tag by Ariel Bissett,
Okay.
an awesome booktuber. You should check her out if you aren't already. Let's say you're in a lecture and your English teacher is going on and on about how this classic changed the world, how it revolutionized literature, and you get so sick of it that you chuck the classic right at his face because you know what? This classic is stupid and it's worth the tension just to show everyone how you feel. Which classic book did you chuck?
Ooh.
So many options.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing on this one because most of them I feel that way.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
Jane Eyre.
either Jane Eyre or Northanger Abbey. They were both just so boring.
I'm gonna have to say Moby Dick. 1, because I hated it, and 2, because it's so thick it would probably knock the professor out. So, bonus.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Tom Sawyer because I hate that book.
I'm not a fan of Tom Sawyer either, actually.
And I love classic literature. Like I just adore everything. Like I love the old classics, but just no, not those ones.
I hated Grapes of Wrath so much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is gonna maybe be controversial, but I would probably throw Pride and Prejudice.
Really?
Not because I don't like the
Pride and
storyline,
Prejudice.
but because everyone talks about how amazing it is, and I've tried to read it like 20 times, and I can never get through it. And it makes me so mad because I start to feel self-conscious. Like, this is the most amazing book of ever. Strong female. And I'm just like, just shut up! I can't!
I do have to say I like it better with zombies. So.
Yes, I did read that one. And it's not Jane Austen. Like, I read Emma, and I liked Emma, and that one's huge.
Yeah. That's the one I came through.
Who would be the worst character to be trapped on an island with?
Oh.
There's options for this one.
Oh, I think I know. I'm going to throw this under the bus. America Singer from The Selection.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
So whiny.
Oh, she's the worst character in any book.
Oh, no. Wait, yeah, America. Her kid is worse from the news that's coming out. Her kid
Evelyn is like 10 times worse than America, and I didn't know that was possible.
Oh,
I would probably.
No, sorry. I just had another one. Because I was talking with this coworker the other day. Does anybody know the Iron Fae series by Truly Kagawa?
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah,
I know of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plot line of it is phenomenal, but the characters are the worst. I would like to slap the main character with her own book because she's so stupid and she makes bad decisions. And so maybe her, because she would probably be like, let's go swimming, and then there would be sharks and we'll die. And then I'd be like, no.
I'd probably have to choose the girl from Shatter Me. I feel like she'd just get really annoying.
Juliet.
She'd just like curl up in a ball and complain and be like,
repeat the word darkness like for
she would just lay there and just go on and on about like where she is and like use metaphors and I'd be like, just shut up and just
Describing everything with metaphors.
The prison island versus the prison my mind.
yeah.
Like, shut up, Juliet. Oh.
I would probably say Joffrey Baratheon from Song and
Solid
Ice
options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
This is
that
this
might
is
be
kind of
weird.
an easy shot, but I think probably Bella from Twilight, because she would just lie around like a limp dish rag and be like, "Where is this voice to save me?" And that would be. Then I would end up killing her. So it would be awkward after that.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I would hate
When I
being
have to-
friends with Adam from Shatter Me.
oh yes, he'd be
So
worse
I
than
would
Juliet.
Him too.
I was thinking about that, but he's in the army, so he's pretty resourceful. So he might actually.
True.
He just
Yeah.
But
might.
I might kill him after like a day.
He also might snap and just like eat you or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't trust that.
You need to have that potential. Who would be your book boyfriend or girlfriend?
That's a hard one.
I know. I want to just go with the obvious choice and say Will Herondale.
Oh,
Great.
everyone's favorite.
I know. Well, I just go to him because he's one of the only people that actually reads in books.
Yeah.
Oh, or Levi from Fangirl.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Levi.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't read, like that's okay. I'll read to him. That's fine.
He would read for you.
I was gonna say Levi, like hands down.
Yeah.
That's so hard. There's so many.
I kind of love Percy Jackson, so I might say Percy, but then I don't really want to break up him and Annabeth, so.
Right.
I really like Tarver from These Broken Stars.
Yeah.
He's one of my faves.
Oh.
Oh, also Prince Kai from the Lunar Chronicles.
Yes.
He's adorable.
Yes. Kai's
I
pretty
have
great.
to say, probably Warner from Shatter Me, because like
Really?
the evil overlord with the heart of gold type thing. Yeah.
That's-
Like not pre-book Warner, like post-series Warner. Like, because originally I hated him.
Yeah. Naturally.
Naturally.
How are we doing in the comments section?
I had it
We
open
do
another way.
have one. Autumn the writer says, how do you become more of a reader? Which is an excellent question because, like, I was asking myself that a while ago. Just because I started a new job and now I'm commuting so much that I'm reading way more than I was before. I think you just have to, like, schedule time in, honestly, or you'll get distracted.
Scheduling is huge.
I think it's really just you bring a book with you everywhere because
Yeah,
eventually you're
yeah.
going to have time to read if you're like waiting for something or in a class or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like anything else in life, it's all about like prioritizing time. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't have time to read, and then I'm like, wait, I've been on Facebook for the past hour. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, it's funny because like whenever I'm like out like sitting in the doctor's office or like on the bus or whatever, it's like everyone's looking at their phones,
Yeah, exactly.
right? You could be reading.
Whenever I see somebody on a bus or a SkyTrain or whatever reading a book, I'm like, what are you reading? Like, what is it? You want to talk about it?
No, even at the library, I do that. Like, I saw someone reading The Naturals a couple weeks ago. I'm like, is there any way I can start a conversation? Like, I want to do this.
Walk up.
Yeah.
But they're reading. That is, like, sacred time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. You want to fangirl, but then you're like, well, I don't want to disrupt them because, but then.
I pulled up the comments on my phone because I wanted to know. I didn't like not knowing. The internet on my computer couldn't handle it. But we've got some good examples people are sharing in the comments as well. Leah said The Sun Also Rises is a classic book that she's not a fan of, but she wouldn't chuck it at the English teacher because she is an English teacher.
like throw it at herself.
Mm-hmm. Janessa couldn't get through Sherlock Holmes, which made her so upset because she wanted so desperately to like the book. Worst character to be trapped on an island with? Either Sebastian from The Mortal Instruments, or maybe
He'd be pretty bad.
Kishan? Kishan? I don't know how to say it. From Tiger's Curse. K-I-S-H-A-N. Kishan.
I always said a Kishan.
Okay. Though he seems a bit more tolerable than Sebastian.
Sebastian's even worse.
Yeah, I think,
Literally like a psychopath. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meg seconds Aaron's hatred for Moby Dick. We've got lots of welcomes. Jody said I should watch the 7-hour BBC Pride and Prejudice, and I have, and I love it. Just the
7
book.
hours.
It's lovely.
Yeah, that's long. Jeez.
Wow. It is the best version though. It's really good.
It is. It's amazing.
I like the Keira Knightley version.
I do. I also really like the Keira
I
Knightley
like
one.
that version.
They're both good.
It's the more practical one to watch because it's a reasonable length. And then we've got a question from Nima. But how do these new people fit into the Wordnerds organization chart? So I figured I'd tell you our order now. So it goes me. I'm just doing it from today for this week. Today is my day, technically, so I'm hosting the live chat. Tomorrow is Erica, but I'm subbing for her, so it's me tomorrow too. But tomorrow would normally be Erica, and then Desiree, and then Aaron?
Aaron.
Aaron, and then Rachel, and then Emma, and then Kelly, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I have to get used to not being after Aaron anymore?
Wait. What is it? Erica. We got Desiree on Saturday this week.
I thought I was on
Yeah. You have me and Rachel switched.
Okay. No, I was on
Wait,
Wednesday.
no.
No, Emma switched
switched
them.
it.
Emma switched them at the last
Oh,
minute.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not the
Yeah.
one on the Google chart then?
It's the one that's in Google Calendars.
Okay, so I've got Erica Monday, so Megan, and then Erin Tuesday, Rachel Wednesday, Emma Thursday, me Friday,
That's
Desiree
not what it is.
Saturday.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I saw too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so Desiree's before Megan, not after Megan.
Yeah.
Or not after Erica.
The Google Calendar is what we're going with, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Google Calendar has spoken.
I'm very confused right now. But I'm accepting it.
You are when you are supposed to be, so you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
I think you got it all right. You just had Desiree in the wrong spot.
Okay.
Anyways, yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
I got it mixed up in my head, I think, because I put in the new intro, I did it like starting with Aaron.
Yeah.
So I think I started switching to that halfway through.
It's okay. Making the Google Calendar got me so confused.
I looked at it once and I was like, it's not worth it.
I got halfway through and realized that I'd been putting like Aaron in the wrong spot for half of it, and I'd like go back and fix it all. Aaron was one of the people that like moved. She basically moved into Caleb's spot. It was just very confusing.
And then, as usual, we just like go backwards through the week, switching days. So.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
We're adjusting. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Hopefully there aren't too many growing pains. Or me getting confused.
No, it'll be fine. We'll work
That's
out.
what I mean by growing pains. Let's go with another question. A sequel. Let's say you've just left the salon with a smashing new haircut, and boom, torrential downpour. What sequel are you willing to use as an umbrella to protect yourself?
So it's a sequel you didn't like, kind of thing, I guess.
A sequel you wouldn't mind getting soaking wet.
Can it be a third book? Is that okay?
That's
Okay.
a sequel to something.
Sequel to the second book, right? So the last one in the Divergent series. Allegiance.
I knew someone was going to say that.
I will get that shit all kinds of wet. I don't care.
I'm gonna say Mockingjay.
Really?
I hated Mockingjay.
I didn't love it.
Horrible.
I just felt stronger about Allegiant.
Yes.
Looking at all my bookshelves right now, like, what did I not like?
For me, it'd probably be like the second or third book in like the Shadow and Bone series, because I didn't even care enough about the first book to keep reading them. So
Really?
yeah.
Me too. I love that series.
Oh, well, actually, I just went through a giant book purge. Like, I got rid of a lot of stuff I haven't read in a long time. So it probably would have been one of the books that I got rid of. Oh, I know. Crossed by Ali Condi.
Oh yeah.
That's the exact one I was gonna say.
Okay, good. Because I was like, you like that series?
No, that's the one I was gonna
The
say.
first book was good. I actually liked the first book. And then the second book was just people running around in canyons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even. I started the second book and was just like, nah, I'm good without finishing this series.
It didn't
I was
get better.
okay with the third one, but I didn't feel like she was with the person she was supposed to be with, and I knew it was a losing battle the whole time.
The third one was just, okay, there's going to be I'm going to put the spoiler hand up, so I'll put it down when I finish talking about it, but, like, the third one was just, yeah, you know what, let's just throw in a plague. Let's just throw a plague in here. Like, cool. Every book series needs a plague, right? Okay, great, done.
The plague is doing really well in Legend right now. Let's try it.
A lot of dystopian series I could do without later books in the series. I always like really liked the concept of the first book, and then the rest of the series.
Yeah.
I feel like this is all the same.
Yeah.
So like I could totally what's that? The Lauren Oliver series.
Delirium.
The Delirium series. That last book I could have done without. I get that so done.
I was going to say the same thing about Red Queen. The second book in that series was very meh for me compared to the first one. It just felt like an afterthought.
Yeah. Okay. Different question. Where did it go? Can you stop reading at any point in a book, or do you have to stop at a chapter break?
I prefer to stop at a chapter break.
Yes. But if I'm sleepy, I'm sleepy.
Yeah. Like I'm reading Passenger right now, and some of the chapters in Passenger are really long, and so I've had spots where I'm like, I need to stop because I need to go like do something, but I don't have time to read another like 15 pages before I stop, so I'm just gonna stop in the middle of the chapter.
I try and go to the next break or like the next paragraph, and then like okay, you know, like I haven't read the last paragraph, put a bookmark or something like that.
Yeah, paragraph. I'm the same way, but I don't really care about chapters. But yeah, I'll wait to the end of the paragraph so I sort of finish the thought.
Yeah. I usually stop in the middle of
if
a
there's
chapter
like a scene
because
change.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'll want to keep reading at the end of the chapter.
Yeah,
I have to know what happens on the next
That's
episode.
like
Exactly.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Desiree?
Oh, I was just saying if there's like a scene, if there's 2 different scenes in a chapter, I'll stop after a scene.
Yeah.
And that's where I stop. But usually I can't like stop in the middle of a chapter.
Do I hear a cat?
Yes, that's mine yelling at me. Sure, she was first just staring judgmentally through the screen door, but now she's decided to progress to yelling at me.
You're being heckled.
I have nothing for you. I don't know what you want.
Okay. We've got a question from Janessa Kendall. What is your favorite supernatural being to read or write about? I'm extremely fond of either witches or necromancers after reading Darkest Powers by Kelly Armstrong. I love that book.
Whoa.
I love it so much.
One of my favorite series. I love it. I've read it like 7 times.
I am also very partial to necromancers. There's always one in any of my fantasy novels.
Oh, cool. Okay, for me, I'm gonna say, like, everybody who knows me for like 5 minutes knows this, is that I love dark, creepy fairies. Like Holly Black, Cassandra Clare, and then we were talking a little bit in the pre-chat about Rosamund Hodge, who does Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound, and like anything that's like a little bit off and like dark and terrifying, and like fairy tale retellings are my favorite thing in the world. So that kind of thing.
Yes.
I like reading about. Well,
I
don't
really
read
like
about them
warlocks
so much now.
and like wizards.
I don't read about them so much now, but when I was younger, I loved reading about dragons. I was obsessed. But I've never written. Well, I mean, since I've been like an adult, I've never written something with dragons. I like them.
Yeah, I'm always
My first novel was about people that could turn into dragons.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
I remember you saying. No.
I'm trying in my manuscript right now. I'm trying to somehow incorporate like I guess kind of dragon, like kind of dragon snake. I guess it would be like wyvern kind of creatures in the desert. So we'll see how well that goes.
I think witches for me.
Yeah, I like
it. Had a shiny new witches idea.
Yeah.
I love the idea of witches, but reading about them is just like I don't care, which is weird. I don't know. My cat's yelling at me now. Hold on. Let's see if I can get a guest appearance.
Whenever she gets back, we've got another good question.
With cat.
With cat.
Hey! Not interested in seeing
I'm gonna
anything.
Shunned. So this next question is from Guild Arts Winters. Since this is Siblings Day, who are your favorite siblings of YA? Mine is Harry and Thomas from the Dresden Files. Weasleys, yes, they're good.
Wait, who did Kelly say? I couldn't. It was so fast.
Sorry, 1 second.
It was so fast that I wasn't sure who you said.
There's no question. Weasley's all the way.
Yeah.
I like the Lynch brothers. I have Raven Boys on mine, obviously. But I really, even though they hate each other, I feel like there's something there, that there's a twist that's just waiting to happen.
Yeah, you know. I'm like friends more than siblings. Maybe Alec and Isabel from.
Yes.
I think them. Like they have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Although I think I like their relationship better in the show than I did in the book, so I think the show is making me be like, I love their.
I love the show. I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
I would like to remember it as it was. And I refuse. Actually, I think Erin was texting me as the first episode was airing. It was just like, what is this? Who is this guy? What? This isn't right at all.
What's going on right now?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
Well, mostly just the acting was what I was ranting about, I think.
Oh, okay.
The terrible acting. Well, and they did add like random stuff that they just seemed to want to add that had nothing to do with the book, so that too. A little bit of everything.
We've got another question. Thanks for asking questions in the comments, guys.
Yeah.
Chats are always more fun when there is our comments.
Yeah, ask away.
This one's from Die Facing Our Foes. When choosing which novel concept to commit to and write, is it most important to go with what you're most excited for / love? Like the plot and the characters you love the most? Or should you also consider your ability? If you think that you're not capable of doing justice to a story yet, should you write a simpler one first, even if you're more invested in the first one?
None of the above.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't necessarily be about the idea you're most excited about, but you shouldn't shy away from ideas. Like, you'll grow into it, you'll learn something from trying to, like, extend your writing ability, even if you're not all that comfortable to begin with. But I'd say the most important thing is having the most fleshed out idea. Like, if you're just like, oh, this is exciting, but I don't really know anything about it, I'd say let it simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely went on a couple of like Pinterest picture finding sprees for the latest manuscript I have, and then also reading things that are similar to what you want to write. I find is very helpful.
Yeah, I think no matter what idea you have, it's like always going to be a little shinier than you're capable of writing before you've written it. And it's like you learn how and you become capable as you write it.
Yeah.
In my experience, at least.
Yeah. And I think the easy book is going to bore you. Like, if it's just, like, easy and you're like, oh, I know I can write this, it's going to bore you because you're not going to care as much.
And honestly, every book seems a little bit like that when I first think of it. Like, oh, I don't know if I can pull this off. Like, and it's always, you're never going to satisfy yourself. It's like there's a Facebook picture I saw today that made me, like, giggle because it was, like, the Picasso picture on the top, and it said, what I see in my head when I think of my new novel idea, and then underneath was, like, just this really awful, like, looked like a crayon version of the Picasso picture with, like, much cow, so pretty, shiny magic ideas, like, written on it in crayon, and then it was, like, and what comes out on paper, right, versus what's in my head. So, like, it's always going to be a little bit like that, so I say just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always revisions.
I feel like the more excited you are about it, like, I feel like it gets easier to write because you want to write it. Like, it's a story that you want to tell.
For sure. Let's see. Let's pull another question off the list, shall we? Do you break the spine of your book or leave it looking new?
Break it.
Leave it like
I used to care a lot about that when I was younger, but I think it was because I was reading more of the sort of stock paperback fantasies that were really thick, and then when their spines broke, they really broke. Whereas these ones, I don't feel like, and a lot of them are hardcover, so they don't break at all. So I don't really think about that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like.
I definitely say break it.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like looking at it because then it means that I really enjoy that book over and over again.
Yeah.
There's a couple books on my shelf that you go by and you're like, okay, oh yeah, that one. Like this is the one.
I used to be like one of those people that wouldn't break it though, so I'd like try to read it like this, like just barely looking inside.
Yeah, I think I won't break it. Like if it's small enough that I won't break it, just because I don't feel like I need to, and so I don't want to.
Yeah.
But if it's like a bigger book, like the Harry Potter books or something, like I want to get into this, and to do that, I need the book to be able to lay flat.
Yeah, I know people who like think that you shouldn't use like anything like thicker than a thin piece of paper for a bookmark and things like that because it'll ruin the book. And like unless you have some like expensive first edition, like it's replaceable if it like falls apart. Who cares? Like I know people who are just like crazy about it. Like, okay.
They would be so horrified if they saw half of the stuff I use for bookmarks. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Oh, my Kindle's lying here. I just shove my Kindle into the book.
I put my phone in the book all the time.
Like some really awkward things have been used as bookmarks before.
Yep.
Whatever works.
I used a piece of my hair once. Like I had nothing, and I was like, all right, this works.
It works.
Whatever it takes.
Bookmark.
Who is your ultimate OTP?
Oh.
One true herring. For those of you who don't know.
So
hard.
I know, like, it's
Captain Levi. I call Captain Levi.
Great.
Yeah.
Are we talking fan fiction or like real?
Like canon.
Yeah. Can I say Draco and Ginny from Harry Potter? Because if we're being honest, that's my OTP.
I was going to say Malfoy and Hermione.
Draco Ginny for life!
That.
It's all about
shipping
that
wars are beginning. Let the shipping wars begin.
Yes.
Oh, I think I know by like. Actually, no, I do definitely say Draco Hermione for any kind of fan fiction things. But I think that,
me and Rachel versus you and Emma.
I don't really read fan fiction, so I don't. Just like I was thinking it like overall, I'm like, yeah, okay, like all right, maybe that could have been an interesting subplot, like just just in case. But I think in real books, I'm gonna say Alec and Magnus.
I love them.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like anything with Magnus I'm cool with because he's just so sassy and wonderful. So yes, they're adorable. I love them together.
I'm gonna say Richard and Kaylin from the Sword of Truth series.
I haven't read that.
I don't know if any of you guys have read it.
Nope.
It's so good. It's like
Who's it by?
Terry Goodkin.
Yeah.
Or Goodkind.
Oh, okay.
It like started in the 90s. And like just recently finished.
It's
Now's
another
a good time to binge read it.
Yeah.
Oh, you will be like binge reading for forever. It's a very long series.
Yes. It's very like high fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, it makes them so awesome.
This is one of them. This is how big they are. This is the type of thing that I would be like, I can't crack the spine to, but it's impossible not to.
Yeah, you can't not crack the spine. They're so big, and there's like, I can't remember, there's like 12 in the series?
Yes, there is.
There's like 12 of them, but I don't know.
I have
Richard and Kaylin's like just whole dynamic.
I like them, but I had the same problem with the series as I had with Robert Jordan, is that like there's so many of them that I'm like, I feel like the plot is being recycled a certain amount, like in the series, just because there's so many of them.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, like, the further you get into the series.
But it would still be good to binge read. It would be a lot of books to binge read.
Yeah.
We've got a question over on Google Plus from Jenna Lynn. If you could live in any fictional world, where would it be? Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Potter.
everyone's
Go
everyone's
to the
gonna say
Wizarding
Harry
World.
Potter.
Okay, how about
Yeah.
not Harry Potter? Like,
Okay, Camp Half-Blood.
Mm.
Okay,
Camp
not
Half-Blood,
Harry
Percy
Potter.
Jackson.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
what I do.
100%. Who do you think your godfather would be?
Your god would be?
I have no idea. Probably Apollo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo's like the dad of everybody.
Right?
That's a hard one.
I feel like the world in Truth Witch would be really cool to live in.
Yeah.
That's
That was a
true.
really cool world.
Or even Throne of Glass. That's very similar.
Mm.
Like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it depends. Like, are you like a main character doing all of the
Yeah.
horrible things that are going on?
Exactly.
Or
Like,
are you
can
just,
I,
like,
can
living
I
in this
live
village
in
somewhere?
Can I live in the Throne of Glass world like before or after all the terrible stuff with the king?
Yeah.
I'm gonna live there during the course of the series.
That's like every world I thought of. It's like horrible things are happening in this place right now. I'm not super interested.
Pretty much. What about like the I don't know, I like some of the like City of Bones and stuff, like that would be kind of if you were actually a
Yeah.
kick-ass hunter type person, then that would be
Yeah.
cool, but if you're just like a mundane, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like I am a mundane. I live in that world now. I'm just a mundane.
Exactly.
I'm freaking waiting for Jace to show up. He's super late.
He's so late. Yeah, I was just about to say.
I really like too the Pendragon books. I love those as a
Yeah.
kid. Epilogue of the last book excluded.
Basically, the whole last book excluded.
Yeah. For that.
But the whole, the concept of the
Is
traveling.
that
area.
the
Yeah.
Christopher Pellini one?
No.
Or?
No, it's DJ
No?
McHale.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that.
His head. He's
There's not actually dragons in it.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't read it.
I also, what was I gonna say? Oh, Tamora Pierce's whole world.
Oh,
The series
yes.
over, that would be a really cool one to live in.
She was my idol.
Yes.
This is actually a good question too. What is your favorite magic system?
Ooh.
I like that question.
Sorry, I'm like, I've gone to elementary school. I'm like,
Rachel?
well, 'cause I'm just going to say for the magic world, I was going to say this, and then it actually works really good for the magic system. In A Darker Shade of Magic, I think that would be my favorite because
Oh,
there,
that's cool, yeah.
there's 4 alternate reality Londons, and they each have a certain degree of magic to them. So we live in Grey London, which has no magic at all, or very little. But the main character is a blood magician from Red London. And it's really neat because it's like there's a red tint to the world, and there's a red tint to the magic, and that just is like the greatest place because we go to multiple places there, and there's like this magical market, and they have like these little stones that will always stay warm, so you can put them in your pockets on winter's days, and you can have this mask so that when you walk around, everyone will see you as a different person, or you can buy a mirror that shows you what your true intentions are. Like it's just like it's so cool and weird, and I love that.
That's really cool.
That
That sounds awesome.
It's a really
Let's
good
read
book.
that book.
That's really cool.
I also have a weakness for magical markets, so that might be one. But no, it's I like that the best. Probably.
I'm trying to think of a system. I
magic
keep wanting to say. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the magic system and Daughter of Smoke and Bone.
That's what I
I've
was
only
gonna
read
say.
the first one.
Wishes and tea.
Yeah, the
and-
witches. Yes. So cool.
I've only read the first one, but like that was just so interesting to me.
Oh, it gets better. It gets even better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think
Good series.
like the Days of Blood and Starlight was one of my favorite sequels ever. It's really, really good.
Really?
I'd continue with it.
You'll have to read the third one.
Yeah, I liked the
I have
second
it
one, but I
on
couldn't
my
get to the third one.
Well, the
Oh,
third
really?
one's huge.
I have it on my shelf and I just haven't. It's another one that I just read the whole series except for the last one. I didn't get to it, and now I need to reread all of them.
I did that last year. It's worth it.
Time.
It's so good.
Is that
Really
okay?
good.
Maybe I should do that.
It's
I
so
just did that
real.
with Raven Boys, so I might as well
Yeah.
do that with this one.
This is a newer book, but I love the whole like magic concept in The Girl from Everywhere, because they just like have to have like a hand-drawn map from a certain era, and they can like travel to like
Ooh,
confines of that map during that time.
that's
It's a
cool.
really cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked in
Like that.
I think it's called Spellbound by Claudia Gray. I can't quite remember. But it had like a similar kind of wishes magic system, but they use like memories and feelings. So it's like for this spell you need a bittersweet goodbye and feeling like you were flying and stuff. And I really thought that was cool.
I have to write that down because I remember hearing about a book that happened with, and I couldn't remember what it was called. Spellbound.
Yeah, it's by Claudia Gray for sure, but I think it's called Spellbound.
And I always love magic systems like Truth Witch, where like everyone has like a different like element, and they all have like different things they can do. I love things like that.
I try and write things like that, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Just always ends up like earth, wind, and fire.
Yeah.
Or like, somehow they're dauntless and suddenly divergent. What's happening?
It is hard to write that and have it not be like something else. It's hard to come up with an elemental magic thing that is unique.
Yeah, when everyone has something different, they all end up being X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But only X-Men can be X-Men.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, one of the first Tamora Pierce books I ever read were the Circle of Magic series, which are like the only ones that don't take place in the same world as the others. But yeah, I loved how like each of the 4 main characters had like a different like element that they worked with, and I thought it was really cool.
Was that turned into a TV show? Because that sounds really familiar.
I think so.
No? Oh, maybe that's different.
We've got a couple of writing-related questions. From Autumn the Writer, how do you add more in your first draft if your first draft word count is low?
I'd like the answer to this. This is my
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if anyone has the answer to that, let me know.
That varies so much, like writer to writer, though. Like for me, I have to go back and add description because I'm just like I just plow through this kind of writer. But if it's your plot that doesn't have enough, that's a lot trickier.
That is harder. Yeah.
And it's really hard to tell what like especially starting out, like you don't know necessarily what your weaknesses are right away, and maybe why your draft isn't hitting the word count that it should. So like that's where beta readers come in, where they can be like, you know what, I really feel like that this was lacking description, and I'd like to know a lot more about the world. And then you know that that's maybe your weakness and what you're going to need to work on every time.
Yeah. And I think some of that you can figure out on your own just going back and rereading it. Like, figure out what thing it is. Like, is it that, like, scene... Because I know sometimes my scenes tend to be, like, really short, and they could be fleshed out more, but I just, like, rush through them. I'm like, because it takes longer to write it than it does to read it, I'm like, this is taking too long. This scene has to end already. And, like, more could have happened.
That's
they could
true.
Try, like, more conversations and stuff. So, yeah, or is it descriptions or,
That's why, like, it's really...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just like to write a lot of detail, like a lot. So that's the point where I have to really like hold myself back. Like, no, Rachel, you don't need to describe all the flower petals. Like, just.
I probably need to describe things more.
Me too.
I have the opposite problem. Like, I am all dialogue and like very little description. So when I do my second draft, I have to add description.
Yeah.
We just need to combine us all into one person.
Yeah.
Perfect writer.
Yeah, it's good to like go like when you give yourself some like space between reading the first draft that you did. A lot of time, if I put a few weeks in between, like when I finish writing it and when I go back and read it, then I can see like, oh, this scene was really like I chopped it off way too abruptly because like I thought it was slow, but it's not when I go back and read it. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So you can catch it yourself.
I think sometimes too, it isn't necessary because I don't struggle with like writing dialogue. I also very much like to describe things, but I still come out on the short end. And a lot of the time for me, it's because my plot is a little too simple, and I need to add some subplots.
Yeah. And it's hard
to figure out what subplots is like thinking about what your other characters would realistically be doing and how that would affect your main character.
Yeah. Because it's hard, at least for me, like when you're writing a first draft, to think about multiple plots at once. And so it's easier for me to go back and add the other plots, like and be like, oh, this character needs to be more fleshed out, so they need a subplot. You know? Yeah.
I always have good intentions with subplots, so I'll start writing them and then I'll forget
about them.
Yeah.
This person, why are they doing that?
Or like,
I totally forgot about this the key that was there. Like, oh, I have to write that in again, and then it comes up in like 30th chapter again.
Or I have a good idea for the subplot halfway through the book, and I'm like, I need to go back and like actually have that earlier on instead of just showing up.
Yeah.
I totally am doing that right now. Like halfway through my story, I'm like, I think I want it to be something slightly different, so I'm just like changed it from like halfway. I'm like, I remember to like go back and so this actually makes sense.
Yeah. I have so many notes. They're like, go back and make this consistent because you changed your mind.
Yeah. So yeah, add that in later. I'm like, add that in later. Make sure you go back and change that person's name. I'm like,
Yeah.
And I always have to be like, maybe you should start the romance sooner than the last chapter because I hate it so much, but I want it to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now kiss. The end. How are we doing? Oh, there's one more question I know of for sure. For ready. First, when I do it on my phone, it doesn't give it to me in order. So I'm really sorry if I'm missing any questions, and y'all correct me if you find any that I'm missing. Alexander W. asked, do you have any advice on writing in different points of view and keeping them distinctly different?
Read Divergent so you know what not to do. Allegiance, I mean.
I've written a couple of times with like different points of view now. Only finished one of the books, but I've done it. And usually for me, I try and just make sure their personalities are really different. Like, so the lens through which they're seeing the world will inherently be different. Like, this one's really pessimistic, and so when she sees a church on fire, she's like, yeah, burn, baby. And then this one's like more of the hero, and so she sees it, and she's like, someone get me water, I need to go help. And so you can do that even with characters who aren't like antagonist and protagonist, just thinking of how they're going to see the world differently.
Yeah. I personally find it easier to do multiple POVs in third person than in first person.
Yeah.
I have not tried it in first person because you have to have really distinct voices in first person.
yeah.
You're telling it through their voice.
I haven't done it in third person yet. I'm more scared of third person.
Yeah.
Oh really? I
think what makes
dual point of view. So I've done like a couple smaller, shorter things in dual point of view, and it's really like becoming an actor and then like doing both parts. So it's kind of tiring because I'll be writing with one person, like okay, and then I like have to like mentally switch myself over to, again, what Megan was saying about like the putting on pessimistic glasses or like doing that kind of thing, and like getting into that character and being like, oh well, they wouldn't like that. So even if I want the scene to go one way, I'm gonna have to make it go another and
Yeah.
And like what Megan was saying about like seeing through different lenses and like if this one person's negative, if this one person's positive, like not even just like what they're thinking, but how they're thinking it. Like everyone in their heads is going to, even if they think the exact same thing, the language of their thoughts and like observations are going to be slightly different. Like one person, think about how even they were raised. Like say this woman was raised Catholic and like was taught never to swear, and she's very prim and proper. Like her very language of her thoughts is going to be completely different than someone who was raised like, a little more rough, and maybe their thoughts are punctuated by swear words, or they're not as formal as she is. It's going to be like little tiny subtle differences too, and just like the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can help distinguish.
Whenever I write in dual point of views, I can't write them both on the same day. Like I'll have to break it up and write. Like I might skip a chapter, but it's hard for me to write them both like in the same writing session.
Like back to back. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm very much the same way because like my first person present tense voice is very different than like my anything else actually. So if I'm doing a first person present tense, I can't sit down and do like switch to something else in the same sitting, because then I'll find myself flipping back into that same voice, and then it's just so obviously not supposed to be in that story. There's one, are you guys visual readers or the other one? I'm not sure what the other one is. And does it affect your descriptions? I'm not a visual reader, but I'm good at descriptions. I'm guessing
I don't know what the other one is called, but it's me. I'm not very visual when I read. I don't really I don't act it out in my head, really.
I feel like I'm visual, not necessarily when I'm reading, but I am when I'm writing. Like to the point where I will like make the expressions of the character as I'm typing them.
I definitely.
Why I don't work in coffee shops because I look crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Halfway through, I realized that like, why does my face hurt? And I've been being angry for the character.
Yeah, because the character's angry.
Yeah. I definitely, I'm way more visual. Like I am picturing the scene more in my head when I'm writing than when I'm reading.
Yes.
Like when I'm reading, I can't really picture scenes very well. It like takes me too long to like visualize it all and like
I don't have
I'm like I'm just gonna read. But writing, I like see it playing out in my head.
Same. Yeah. I'm definitely not visual.
I'm a really visual reader.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not. Like so much so that someone will be like, "Oh, do you remember this scene when they went to like this and sat under this like oak tree?" And I'm like, "It was an oak tree." Like I didn't even like really necessarily even register they were under a tree. Like I'd half skim over a description to get to the dialogue type thing. So I'm like as unvisual reading as they come.
Same. Even when I'm writing though. Because I'm somewhere in between. I'm not like a not visual reader, but if I stop and try to think, then I'll get really caught up on like what this person looks like. But when I'm writing, it's like I'll hone in on certain things. So like I know what this dude's nose looks like, but the rest of his face is smudgy, and I know that this one has really knobby knees, and there's some flowers over there somewhere.
That leads to an interesting question too, actually. Because when I write a character, I sort of have a rough idea what they look like. Do you guys have a really detailed idea in your head, or just kind of
for main characters? Yes.
Yeah. I don't. Not even for main characters half the time.
I usually have a couple. Well, not like the few defining features, but kind of. And then just like, well, I think I want this person to have brown hair, and maybe she has like a smaller face or whatever. But that's kind of it. And then sometimes I'll just be browsing the internet and just see something and be like, like that's what. Yeah, like that's.
I saw a guy at the dog park today that I listened to. I was like character. I want to take your picture, but that would be creepy.
Yeah.
If you like went up to her and was like, "Excuse me, you look like the person that's in my head."
I don't really like fan cast my characters or anything. Like I know some authors who are like, I pictured my character to look like this actor, and like I don't like I'll like find some pictures on Pinterest of like this, but it'll be like multiple different people. They're like, this is kind of the way the person looks, like kind of like this.
I like the idea of fan casting because then, like, you can never describe them in a way that would make it sound like that person, but then you can be consistent with the character details. Be like, okay, this is what Hugh Jackman's nose looks like. It's what it's always going to look like. That kind of thing.
It's funny because, like, I was going to be like, I never fan cast, and then I was like, no, I really fan casted the last book I wrote, the middle grade one. But it wasn't necessarily because, like, this is what they look like. It was because this is what their personality is like. Like I went and watched that movie Tomorrowland, where there's this tiny little British girl and she's like very prim and proper, and I was like, oh my god, that's my character. And it was just like an epiphany, just not necessarily even the way she looked, but just the way her mannerisms were and how she spoke, that type of thing. So. It's like not necessarily actress, but how they're cast.
Yeah, it's like the aesthetic of the character that I like do on Pinterest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every time I read something on Wattpad and they have the fan cast, I never agree with any of them.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they're usually like,
I'm Justin Bieber. No.
I'm really visual with my characters.
Extreme ones.
I'm really visual with my characters, but I'm not descriptive with them, if that makes sense. Like, in my mind, they're, like, really specific, but I don't go into that much detail when I write, because I kind of like when people kind of have their own idea of what the character looks like. That's, like, half the fun of reading a book.
Yeah.
I think that, like, over-describing even main characters is actually, I don't know, it can go badly wrong. Like, I feel like that a lot of beginner writers end up, like, describing them, like, in such detail. Like, she was wearing a pink tank top. and like it had this logo on it. You're like, I don't care.
You should let your reader's imagination do some of the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't understand what the like descriptions mean. Like when they like describe like the nose, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't know. Like I don't understand all the words they use. I don't know, but yeah, basically the side characters. I'm like, this is like their skin color, their hair color, and about how like tall and how they're built. But that's about all I've got.
Well, I love that.
I think like beyond like basic description, there has to be like a reason why. Like in the Raven Boys, when she describes Ganzi's boat shoes, it's because because she
so true.
With privilege, right? It's because he comes from this privileged place, and she's like, ugh, his privileged boat shoes, right? So there's a reason she's describing what he's wearing on his feet, right?
And she describes the characters a lot, but I think that all of her descriptions help you understand the personality of the character.
Exactly. Yeah. It's for a reason.
Descriptions of people's looks, but not their looks, like the way they walk, or like the way that they hand something to someone, like those kind of descriptions. I really like. And I think that's
Maggie Potter does that so much. Especially it's like always like don't fall on him because he's sharp and just like
Well, like I really loved.
She's very good at it.
I do love Divergent, just Divergent. But one of the best things about that book was the descriptions, because like, even though we have a mirror scene, we still don't really know what Triss looks like, and she just describes herself as plain. And then later, I think it was, I can't remember where I heard this, who I was talking about this with, but in the book when we first meet Four, we only have the description of he has blue, like, deep-set eyes kind of thing, and he has a slim build, but we don't even know what his hair color is. And I totally was like, what? And then I looked back, and we don't see what hair color he has, and then a couple chapters later, she makes the comment, like, oh, he's gotten his hair cut, and it's darker. But that's it. Like, is it black? Is it, like, what is it? Like, so I just, like, that way that you can picture Four so clearly, but you don't even know what his hair color is just great. Not what race he is. Like, we don't know, so that's what I like the best about that one.
We do have a couple more questions. Leah wants to know, can each of you share a little bit about your current work in progress? I thought that was a good question. Where do we start down the line? I don't know.
I can start, and then we'll go down my line, so Rachel will be next.
Okay.
I'm currently co-writing a book with my very good writer friend Kyra, who you've seen several times on this channel. And it's a lot of fun. It's about two girls who find themselves in one body in a Viking-inspired fantasy world.
Ooh.
And it's a lot of fun. Her character is really witty and smart, and just like all the characters that Kyra writes, and mine is like very blunt force warrior, which is like all the characters I write. So it's really fun. Rachel.
Next down the line.
Okay. My current work in progress is a fantasy novel that is based off of Arabian, Egyptian, Babylonian mythology. Kind of like Middle Eastern, maybe, in that area. And it's about a girl, and it's also it's a matriarchal society. So it's about a princess who is going to be queen, and she has to be wedded to become queen. But she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't like anybody. Like, why do I need to do that? So she has the queen sets a competition so that whoever can beat her in battle can marry her. And she's like the fiercest warrior that there ever was. And one day, a person beats her, and she's just like, what is happening right now? So, and then, magic and destruction.
As you know.
Yes. Kelly.
I don't even know if I could explain it right now. I was writing a werewolf story for the Building a Book project I'm doing on my channel, but it was too much like another story, so now I'm currently in the process of like merging that with something else, so we'll see. I don't know.
Emma.
Me? I'm still working on the same thing I've been working on for a long time, so you can probably find lots of information if you watch enough old videos. But yeah, it's a fantasy. It's about a prince and the future captain of the guard, who's a girl, and they're like sent on this quest for like this evil king that the prince tried to like have his own father assassinated at one point, but now they're forced to go on this like suicide mission for him, basically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron.
Well, I'm working on 2 right now. The second book in the Frost series, and then the other one is a kind of a weird science fiction fantasy mashup, I guess, set in a like alternate future New York, where people they're just born with tattoos essentially that are in this kind of different foreign runes that spell out their future. And there are people that are called readers who can actually read the runes, but that's illegal, so they're like thrown in jail if that happens. And then, of course, my main character develops the ability to read her own runes and starts realizing what's going to happen in the future. So,
Wow.
yes, it's very complicated.
Desiree.
Okay, long story short, my current manuscript is about pirates that have monarchy system, and the main character is the next in line for the throne, and she has to get married, and she ends up getting married very early on in the book, and so she's like learning how to love her new husband, all while this horrible pirate is trying to just kill everyone that is a part of the monarchy system because he's an anarchist. So that's a pretty basic
I love it.
Basic summary of my book.
Cool.
The first time you told us that, I was like,
amazing! Meg asked us, she said, in your opinion, what is the worst book to film adaptation you've seen?
Percy Jackson's City of Monsters.
Ella Enchanted.
Everyone has opinions.
Did anyone see Percy Jackson yet?
Yeah, Percy Jackson's City of Monsters.
Percy
That's
Jackson.
the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Percy Jackson, hands down. Worst adaptation ever.
Did you? Because the Lightning Thief was just horrible all by itself. But did you
So
watch
bad.
that one?
No,
I watched
did not.
the second
No,
one.
it's laughably hilarious. Laughably bad. That's my favorite worst book to adaptation ever.
Like, I was so excited to go see Percy Jackson in the theaters. And, like, I was like, I'm so ready. And, like, you know, by the first 5 minutes, I was like, what did they do? What did they do to my precious book?
Well, actually, I quite liked Logan Lerman as Percy Jackson. Like, I was like, yeah, okay. And then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, he was too old. That was, like, the first thing I noticed. I was like,
They
he was
aged it up
16,
a
not
lot.
11.
They did age it up a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I have very like violent feelings towards the Ella Enchanted movie.
Yes.
It makes me really angry.
They ruined our childhood.
Yeah.
But
I was so excited when I heard they were making a movie, and then I like saw like the first trailer, and I was like, oh no. Yeah. I tried to rewatch it like a year ago because I was like, maybe it's not as bad as, you know, like I was like 14, and so of course I hated the movie adaptation of one of my favorite books, and I rewatched it and I was like, no, this really is terrible.
I also have a seething hatred in my heart for the City of Bones movie.
Yeah.
So terrible.
Actually, there's when I went to go see it with one of my friends, and we were just in the theater watching it, and every time something kind of like went wrong, we just kind of looked at each other. Anything. And then as the credits start rolling, we both look at each other, we go outside, we're like, okay. So like we're totally silent, and we go out of the theater, and then as soon as we're outside, we turn to each other, we're like, 1, 2, 3, go! And then we just started ranting. The parking lot, like, what the hell? Why did it happen? I don't like the book. Like, it was
I went to see that with a coworker, and we literally started like laughed out loud at some of the really cheesy parts. We were like, "What is this? Like, what did they do?"
The part where they're in the greenhouse and it was like this really terrible, like.
And then right after that, when they go to her room and Simon is there, and she's like, "Oh, it's nothing" or whatever, and Jace is like,
just so sorry,
"I love so easily," and I was like, "What?"
I saw that, like, the day it came out, like, right after school, me and my best friend were like, we have to go to the first showing that is out And so we went to it, and we're like the only ones in the theater, so we were able to like rant about it during the movie. It was crazy.
Or how about let me just take a piece of Portal, put it by your face, and cross through.
So weird. Here, let me rub your hand with my foot. Let me rub your face with my hand. It will be super romantic. Pot your face. So
Yeah.
weird.
I could go on for a very long time about that movie.
Oh dear.
Do we have any more questions? Getting close to time to wrap things up. If we don't have any questions.
Don't be
We
scared.
don't. We're looking.
It's okay. We don't bite very hard.
So you
no
said we don't have
guarantees.
any questions?
No.
Find anymore.
Okay, perfect. I didn't hear you the one time, and I was like, the anticipation. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in with us tonight, meeting our new word nerds, Desiree and Rachel. Their names are in the new intro, so you can learn how to spell them. Because interesting. Desiree's is especially fun. I always get really nervous when I'm spelling it wrong in an email. We will be back tomorrow. Videos every day this week, so be sure to tune in there. If you like this, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to us. Yay. And we will be back next week with a topic.
It will be very interesting.
Yes. So we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.